All right, Seth. So today I'm just going to be kind of educating you on neuroscience and pain education. So kind of some of the main differences between like normal pain and chronic pain. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
And so the first topic that I want to discuss with you is that pain is an alarm system that is meant to protect you. And so the point of an alarm is to get you to get up and to kind of do something. And so think of like the alarm that you set in the morning. You set it so it makes you wake up and get ready for your day. And so kind of how I like to relate this to pain and chronic pain is, have you ever stubbed your toe before?
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
It hurt and it didn't really feel like walking on it.
Yeah. And so upon stubbing your toe, you will feel an increase in pain. And this is your body's alarm system telling you that there is something wrong with your toe and maybe that you should keep like the weight off of it. Maybe you shouldn't walk around on it. It's telling you that there's something wrong. And so you should kind of allow that to rest so you can allow the tissue to kind of start its healing process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so in the case of chronic pain, I have this little visual here to kind of help you understand. So here is the visual. And then, so see how this person is already kind of in like a heightened state. They're already kind of anxious.
Yeah.
It seems like they got a lot going on, right? And so, in this case, the person, if they were to stub their toe, you can imagine, see how all their alarm systems are already going off?
Yeah.
The increase in stimulus is going to cause that pain response to be even heightened and cause like more pain or like it's like feeling of sensation of pain. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For that person in chronic pain stubbing their toe. And then so another way that I kind of like to think about this is if you think of like an alarm system in your home. Let's hope this never happens, but let's say like a robber comes in and they rob your house. So now after that, your alarm system is going to then be heightened, and any little stimulus will cause an increase in response. So like let's say the mailman coming up to your door, like a deer walking in your yard. Since their set level is already heightened, any other stimulus that's coming at it is going to just heighten it even more.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so can you go ahead and just kind of summarize the main points from that conversation, just so I know you have an understanding of what we talked about?
Yeah, so someone with chronic pain will naturally have a more intense reaction to the same stimulus that might affect someone less. And so like if I was afraid of stubbing my toe and then and I'm anxious and stuff like that and I stub it, it's going to hurt more for a person like me.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Good job explaining that. Any questions before we move on to the next topic?
No.
No? Okay. And then so the next topic that I want to talk to you about is that pain is more about sensitivity than damage. And so what I mean by that is that pain is poorly related to tissue damage. So tissue damage being you stub your toe, maybe you broke a bone, maybe you cut your skin, tissue damage like that. Instead, pain in chronic pain patient populations, they highly relate to life stressors. And so these stressors can include like lack of sleep, increased feelings of worry or fear. Tissue damage can again lead to that as well, and stress. So like any life stressors, like any financial issues, relationship issues, anything like that you might have going on in your life is going to kind of heighten the effects of pain in chronic pain populations. And so if you have any of these stressors, it will then cause a further activation in your pain in the cases of chronic pain. And so I have another little visual here to kind of help you understand. It's a picture of two mountains, as Seth is an avid hiker, and so I thought this would be a good demonstration for him. And so let's say this mountain over here, see how the mountains are the same height?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this one over here, see this line up at the top?
Mm-hmm.
For a normal pain response, someone would have to climb this high on the mountain to feel pain. But someone, in the case of chronic pain, they only have to go this high up the mountain to get the same pain response. So their stimulus to pain is lowered. And so they only have to go, let's say, a quarter of the way up the mountain to feel the same amount of pain a normal person would when they got all the way up to the top of the mountain.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so just so I know that you have an understanding of kind of what we just talked about, can you go ahead and summarize just a few main points that you gathered from that?
Yeah, so external stressors, whether that be relationship or financial or even previous injuries, can really heighten your pain experienced, even though maybe beforehand it wouldn't be as high. Now because of all these other external factors, you're feeling much more pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Any questions before I move on to the next topic?
No.
Okay, the last topic that I'm going to discuss is that protection can be overamplified and persist past healing. And so we should still continue to view pain as an alarm system, as alarm systems are meant to motivate us to do something and change to protect ourselves. But however, too much of that alarm can lead to further problems. And so, for example, think of someone that is highly allergic to bees. They should have a good amount of alarms in their pocket to kind of take like the right precautions. So they should carry an EpiPen. They should probably avoid places where there's going to be a high prevalence of bees, such as like going like a flower field, or even going to like, what are they, bee farms? I don't know what you call them, but you know, places where there's just going to be a lot of bees, like by nature. They should take the precautions and have those alarms. That maybe that's not a good idea. But someone, in the case of chronic pain, they have too many alarms going off. And so the person that's afraid of bees, they have so many like stressors and just fears and anxieties about the bee that they take too many precautions. So let's say if they leave their house, they go on a bee suit. I know I'm being dramatic. Or in the wintertime, they don't even leave their house because they're so scared of being stung by a bee, because everything is just so heightened and they have all this anxiety and everything built up around it. And so the same thing kind of happens with chronic pain. The body and the brain have an overreaction to pain, which then becomes a learned response. But this learned response is no longer a protective mechanism, as it no longer serves its purpose, and it persists way longer past the time of the tissue healing. So your toe will be fully healed, and then you're still feeling that chronic pain down in your toe after you stepped it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, and then can you go ahead and just summarize a few main points of our conversation, just to kind of make sure I know you kind of understood what we were talking about.
So depending on just previous conditions and how you react to some sort of pain, someone with chronic pain might restrict themselves from ever getting close to doing that thing again. So like you said, if I stub my toe and I was wearing flip-flops, I may never wear flip-flops and go on a walk again because I'm afraid I might, hurt myself again. So it's no longer helping me, it's preventing normal use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. Do you have any questions about anything that we discussed today?
No, I don't.
No? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for letting me take the time to educate you about chronic pain.
I appreciate it.